Hello, and welcome back, friends. I know it's been a minute since I have been here and put up a video, but here I am, and we are going to get some good work in on our hips. We're going to do some strengthening, especially around those little muscles around our hips for support, and then we will do some stretching. And hopefully you'll feel nice and open. This is really great movement and stretches to do if you sit a lot. And I'll try and keep this fairly quick. But we're going to start in Sukhasana, or our seated position. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. See if you can lengthen through the spine. Crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. And find your breath. And we won't do anything fancy here. We're just going to take, you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and take, 3 to 5 long, slow, deep breaths. Breathe as deep as you can, and then see if you can exhale everything out. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed away from the ears, hands wherever they fall. This kind of breath work in yoga we call pranayama. And if you're ready to go ahead and have some movement and start moving around, go ahead and drop your chin to your chest and find some neck movement, some head movement to stretch through the neck. You can draw circles with your nose. If you've done any of my videos before, you know all my things. You can draw circles with the nose. If you tilt your head back, make sure you reach through the chin so we're not crunching. Or you can just do ear over shoulder, chin to chest. So find what it is you need and continue that deep breath. And then we'll open up in our shoulders a little bit. So bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. Inhale, interlace your fingertips, take your fingers forward. Reach. Really reach through your shoulder blades. Reach, stretching through the palms, stretching through the forearms. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, open them up. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, take your palms forward, and we'll just take them straight up this time. Reach through the side body, reach through your palms. Exhale, release, pull your shoulder blades down and back. 1 more of those. Inhale, reaching up, reach through the side body. Exhale, pull your shoulder blades down and back. Try not to lift the ribs too much. Let's keep that work back there. And now when you're ready, we're going to do a simple side stretch. Just drop your left hand, right arm comes up and over. Find some organic movement. You can rotate forward, you can rotate your chest to the sky. And then just tick-tock back and forth. Do with your breath if you can. Inhale to center, exhale to the side. And even it out, maybe 1 more time on each side. And then the next time you come over to the left, go ahead and come into a twist. You can bring your left fingertips behind, right palm to your outer left thigh. Keep that length in the spine. Try not to lean back or too far forward. So you want to have that straight spine here, if you can see that on me. Inhale, exhale, release, and just take it right on over to the other side. Breathing into your twist. As you inhale, you might lift through the spine a little. Exhale, maybe we'll take you a little deeper into your twist. Feel it out, see what happens. Everybody's practice is different. Exhale, come to center, and now we're gonna get some, I'm gonna get some work in your hips, and then we'll do some stretches. So we're gonna start in straddle pose. So take your legs wide. Activate your toes. You don't have to have them like cranked out, but you want them active. Keep your knees a little safe. Stay here for just a minute and breathe. Let the legs, make sure your glutes are heavy, keeping that length in the spine. And we don't want to be super wide here. We're going to keep this, you know, bring it in a little from your widest. And then when you're ready, just rotate to the left. Maybe take your chest over your thigh a little bit. Inhale to center. Exhale. Take it over to the right. Torso's over your right thigh. You can lean forward a little bit. Go back and forth. Move with your breath a couple times. Keeping the toes a little active. Perfect. Come back to center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop your shoulders. We're going to rotate our chest over towards our right thigh. You can lean forward a little bit. And as we do this, you're going to turn your left toes in and you're going to rotate that femur in. And we're going to pull our heels in with resistance if you can. And we're going to come into 90-90 legs. Yay. And if you can sink, if it's uncomfortable to sink that glute, this is one of those poses, this is going to take up my whole recording, but this is one of those poses you really have to play in it to find what is most comfortable for you. So I will just say that. And we're going to go back and forth, so it'll give you a chance to maybe find what works best for you. So when you're ready, we're going to press through that left heel, straighten that leg. Straighten the right leg as we come back down, and then we're going to do to the other side. So rotate over, rotate that femur and foot in, pull your legs in. Do it with resistance. We're getting some work in on the hips, and we're going to go back and forth doing that. I should have worn socks. Makes it easier to slide. So just move slow, deliberate, mindfully. Find that resistance, coming back. Hopefully you're feeling this in your hips. And if you just need to, instead of going back and forth with me, if you need to take a moment, find a side, find what works best for you, because we're going to get in, once here in a second, we're going to get into a pope. We're going to get into this. Stay here for a minute and do some more work. So find what works best for you. Okay. So we're going to come back. Let's all come together, and we'll come into the 90-90 legs with the right leg in front. Okay. So find what works best for you, and then when you're ready, we're going to do some clamshells with that back leg. So, and you don't have to come all the way up. Mine does not. I am not that. And again, this is one of those ones where you really got to find, if you want to have that leg further in, open up, exhale, release. Open, release. Lifting that left knee up off the ground, keeping the foot on the ground. You should really feel this in your outer glute, your hip. Breathing. Hold on this last one. Exhale, release. We're going to slide the left foot out and then come in this way, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. So find what works best for you. The legs can be pulled closer in if that feels better. You can have your legs further out. And then find your clamshell. See, this leg is will not lift up that much. So breathe through it. And then your last one, we're going to hold. Ooh, that's my surgery hip. I can feel that. Exhale, release. We're going to slide ourselves back to our straddle position, coming back into the 90-90 legs on the right. Activate your toes. Now, when you're ready, we're not going to do the clamshells again. I'm good on that. So when you're ready, press, look at your back foot, And if you cannot lift your foot here, that is okay. This is one of those moves, these next couple moves. If you're not able to do it, just think about doing it. If you practice it, you're going to create those neural pathways in your brain, making your nervous system happy, and you will be able to pick up your foot or your knee. And maybe it's just a little bit. I mean, I can barely get mine up, but anyways, it's a practice. That's why we call this practice. Okay. So you're in your 90-90 legs, you look at your foot, press that knee into the ground, and when you're ready, try not to lean really far forward. Lift your back foot, lift your ankle off the ground. Hold. Whoo. Breathe. Keep that length in your spine. Exhale, release. You can lift and lower, or you can lift and hold. Maybe a little bit of both. Breathe. Exhale, release. Slide your legs out. Come to 90-90 on the other side. Find what works for you. It'll probably be different day to day. And then when you're ready, pressing that knee into the mat or the ground, lift that back leg or that back foot. Keep that knee on the ground. You're probably feeling this. Maybe you're feeling this here. We're all different. And then you can lift and lower. Use your breath. Try not to lean too far forward. Or you can just lift and hold. Exhale, release. Come back to the right. We're almost done here, and then we're going to get into our amazing stretches and such. Okay. We're back on the right. Take a deep breath, press in that knee into the mat. Go ahead and lift that back foot. Exhale, release. Now without coming too far forward, this might be embarrassing because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to lift my leg, but we're going to try. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Without leaning too far forward, see if you can lift your back leg off the ground. Breathe, 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 breathe. Try and don't lean forward. You're not going to get the stretch. Try and stay up. Now see if you can straighten that leg. Then drop it down to the ground. Come back. We're going to do the same thing on this side. When you're ready, press that right knee into the mat. Lift that back foot. Exhale, release. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lift. Breathe. Whew. Try not to lean too far forward. Oh, try to find a way to brace myself where I'm not leaning too far forward. Let your glute and your hip do the work. Straighten. Drop. Perfect. Walk your hands forward. Nice stretch through the inner thigh. You might find a little wiggle back and forth. These are moves you can do anytime. Sorry to put you through that, guys. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, come up. We're going to come to our hands and knees now and begin your cat-cow. So stacking your bones, wrist under shoulders, knees under your hips, pressing into the tops of our feet. Inhale, or you can curl your toes if that feels better. It's up to you. Drop the belly. Exhale, rounding through. Draw your navel up. Really arch through the back. Drop the crown of the head. Inhale, drop the belly. I'm going to shut up and let you move through your cat-cow on your own. You guys know what you're doing here. Just listen to your body. Trust yourself. And just move how your body needs and craves. I'm just here to guide you. When you're ready, coming back to tabletop, curl your toes under. You can walk your hands a little forward if that feels good. And when you're ready, Inhale, lift your tailbone, find your downward facing dog. So please, if you can't bend your feet, I've heard from people, I have a hard time bending my toes. I can't do yoga. I can't do down dog. Bend your knees. You do not have to have your feet flat. You do not have to bend your toes much. You can bend your knees, lift your tailbone. Breathe. You can pedal it out if it feels good. And then when you're ready, walk your feet up to meet your hands in a lovely forward fold. Maybe walk your hands side to side here. Find, again, what it is that your body needs. This is your practice. And then when you're ready, inhale, roll it up slowly. Bring yourself into a mountain pose. So find your stable mountain pose. Feet maybe hip width apart. Weight back on our heels. Shoulders dropped. We don't need to tuck our tailbone or anything like that. Just stand and feel yourself rooting into the ground. Take a deep breath. Inhale, arms up. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Exhale, dip to the left. Inhale, arms up. Switch sides. Exhale, dip. Side body stretch. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, pull your elbows down and back. And then we're going to come into a quad stretch. So a nice balance pose, but we're going to get a nice quad stretch. So shift your weight to your left foot, your right foot, whichever side you want, guys. You shift your weight to one side. Plant your foot down. Lift your other leg. Draw that hip in. Don't let that hip cock out. It's going to cause your balance to be off. So you want to draw that standing leg hip in. It's called hip list. Pull that leg up. And you may just stay here, rotating your ankle. Working on strength, working on balance. Or if you want, you can come into the quad stretch. Bringing your foot behind. Let your knee feel heavy, dropping towards the ground. Breathing deep. And then whenever you're ready, release. Switching sides. Pressing into your right foot. Find your mountain pose. And then switch sides. So keeping that hip drawn in. Drawing that left leg in. You can do your ankle rolls. And if you want to come into the quad stretch, bring your hand to your foot and let that knee drop heavy. And bring your heel in as far as is comfortable. And something else that really helps with balance, there's a couple things. Keeping that hip list, that hip drawn in, keeping our core tight, and finding a drishti or a focal point, one spot that does not move, stare at that spot. Exhale, release that. And that helps give us a little balance. When you're ready, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold all the way to your forward fold. And again, you might find a nice sway here. Plant your palms, step your right toes back, step your left toes back. You will find yourself in plank position. Inhale, exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, we can lower all the way to our bellies to cobra, or you can lower halfway, chaturanga, to upward facing dog. Your choice. Breathing deep. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Inhale, lift your right leg high. You can lift straight up, or you can just lift it straight out behind you. Bend that knee. Let's go ahead and open up through the side body. Try and keep the shoulders square. Rolling your ankle. Come back to center. Draw that knee towards your nose. Step it up. Find your low lunge. And then when you're ready, drop that back knee, pressing into our heel and our front leg, and either toes curled or on the top of our foot pressing into the mat. You want to try and keep your hips as even as possible. Don't let this hip cock too far forward. Inhale in our low lunge. You can keep your fingertips on the ground here. And then when you're ready, rock back. Straighten that leg. Bring those toes up towards your forehead. Inhale, roll it forward. Bring your right hand to your right inner arch. Walk that foot over towards the edge of your mat. We're going to come into a lizard variation here. So we've got a lot of bus stops here. If you've done yoga with me, you know this. This could be your pose. This could be your pose. This could be your pose on our forearms. You can lower that knee. It's your choice. So wherever you are, breathe. You can turn your toes off your mat a little bit if it feels more comfortable in your knee, your leg, your thigh. Again, we're all different. Breathe where you are. 2 more deep breaths. Wherever you are, come back up onto the palms if you're not already there. We're going to walk that, and this might be a good place if you have a blanket or a towel. I really should have said that in the beginning. So we're going to walk the right foot all the way over to the left side of the mat. We're going to come into a pigeon. So this would be a good place to drop a blanket under your hip. And that might be where you are today, and that's okay. Actually feels really good. Or you are here, pressed into your fingertips. Can be a pretty intense back bend for some people. So if you want, let's bring it to a sleeping pigeon. Keep your toes on your right leg active. Okay. And then you can come down onto your forearms. Breathing here. You might have that blanket or towel or even a block under your right hip. And then if you have the flexibility, it's pretty intense. You can bring your forehead to the ground. And if not, that's okay. That's a very intense stretch. Breathing where you are. Stick with your breath. This can be intense pose, so just breathe. Fine tune. Play into how your feet are pressing into the mat, how we're activating our toes. Every little bit changes. We're all one working part. Perfect. On your next inhale, slowly walk your fingertips up. And then when you're ready, curl your back toes under and then slide it through to a tabletop, or you can just come straight up to down dog. Pedaling our feet. And then when you're ready, drop your right heel, lift your left leg high. Bend that knee, open up through the side body, keep your shoulders square. You can rotate that ankle if it feels good. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, draw that knee up and step it up into your low lunge. So you can be here in a minute. Here we go. We'll go ahead and lower our back knee. And again, pressing into our heel and either the top of our foot or our toes. And then if you want to come up, you can, or you can keep your fingertips on the mat. It's your choice. Breathe where you are. when you're ready, bring that left hand to the left inner arch, walk that left foot over to the edge of your mat, turn your toes off the mat slightly, and then find your lizard variation. So again, you can have that back knee lifted, you can be on your palms. Traditionally, we're on our forearms. This is modern yoga. We don't have to be on our forearms if we don't want. You can keep that knee lowered. Breathe wherever you are. And then when you're ready, slowly, if you're not already up on your palms, bring yourself up to your palms. Walk that left foot to the right side of the mat, and then we're going to work on finding our pigeon on this side. So if you need the blanket under your left hip, whatever, take a look back. Make sure that your heel and foot are in line with your hip joint. Keep the toes on your left foot active. Breathing, and then when you're ready, coming down to your forearms or to your forehead. Finding your sleeping pigeon. Breathing. And again, play in every pose. Keep with your breath. Breathing deep. Don't give up, you've got this. Perfect. Inhale, slowly come back up onto your fingertips, curl those back toes, lift that back knee, and we're going to come into down dog, or you can come to tabletop and then down dog, your choice. Pedal it out for a second, just feels good to do. And then when you're ready, walk your hands, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come into a forward fold. Let your body hang. You can grasp opposite elbows. And then when you're ready, inhale, roll it up. Find your mountain pose. And this time we're going to come into tree pose. So, and we do this. You guys know this pose. So, feet under our hips, lengthen through the spine. You guys know the drill. Press into whichever foot is going to be your standing leg to start, and then slowly lift the other foot off the ground. Keeping that hip drawn in, bring your sole of your foot to your inner thigh. See if you can open that inner thigh up. And then do you want to take your hands up, hands on hips, hands here, however you want it. Breathe. Pressing the sole of your foot into your thigh and pressing your thigh into your foot, finding that opposing balance. I'm going to switch sides. My knees bother me. Whenever you're ready, you switch sides. Find that standing leg. Keep your knee slightly bent. You don't want to lock your knee out. Pressing together. Breathe. And then when you're ready, release. We're going to take our feet about mat width or a little bit wider. Turn your toes out. We're going to come into a yogi squat. So from here, toes are turned out, feet are a little wider than our hips. And we're going to start bending our knees, dropping our pelvis. Take your knees, track them over your middle toes. And you can come into this yogi squat, pressing your elbows into your inner thigh, pressing your inner thigh into your elbows and keeping length in the spine. This may not be your pose. You may want to come into the more of the froggy pose with the ankles up, the feet a little closer together. So it's your choice. Both give you a really great hip stretch. So find it and breathe. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Exhale, bring your fingertips behind you. Slowly sink your bum to the mat. Take your legs out long. Find your staff pose, Dandasana. So legs are out long. Backs of the legs are pressing into the mat, toes activated. Heels can come up off the mat when you activate your quads if they do. If not, that's okay too. Lengthen through your spine, shoulder blades down and together on our backs, without lifting in the ribs. Breathe. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees a little if you need to, folding over. You might find a little organic movement here. And then when you're ready, roll it up. Bring your left foot with you. Bring the sole of your left foot to your right inner, like a seated tree pose, to your right inner thigh. We're going to come into head to knee. So inhale, arms come up, press into that heel if you need to bend that knee. Exhale, take your torso over your thigh, hinging at the hips. Head to knee pose. 3 deep breaths. On your exhale, tuck your chin, roll it up. We're going to switch. Take your left foot out long, right sole of your foot to your left inner thigh. Activate your toes, bend your knee if you need. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over. Hinge at your hips. Try not to round through your back. You'll get more length. Exhale, tuck your chin, roll it up, and then make your way to your back. We're almost done. So come to lie flat on your back. You can have your feet flat on the mat if that feels good. And then from here, you can have your left foot flat on the mat, take your right foot high, and then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Breathe here for a second. And then when you're ready, interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and bring your knees towards your chest. We're going to come into a reclined pigeon. So find your reclined pigeon. You can certainly straighten that left leg here if that feels good, or you can keep that shin parallel to the ceiling. Might find a little rock side to side here, maybe massaging the lower back. I don't know. And then when you're ready, slide your right foot all the way over until your knees are stacked or as close as you can get them stacked. And then if you can reach the outer edges of your feet, you might grab those. Bring your knees into your chest as much as you can. You should feel a really nice big stretch here along that outer glute. Everything we were working really hard earlier at the beginning. Perfect. Exhale, unravel, plant the feet, and then let's windshield wiper our legs for a second, back and forth. Just, whoops, windshield wipering. Come back to center. You're going to lift the left leg high. Cross it over. Breathe here for a second. And then when you're ready, interlace behind, come into your reclined pigeon. Find your organic movement if it feels good. Breathe. You can straighten that right leg if it's good. And then when you're ready, slide that leg all the way over. Bring your knees as close to stacked as you can get them. And then if you can reach your outer edges of your feet, this is a reclined cow face pose. So bring your knees towards your chest and you should feel that really nice stretch along your outer hip, your glute area. Breathe. Unravel, release, bring your feet flat on the mat, and again, windshield wiper your legs. Breathe, breathe through center, exhale to the side. And you can let that right side of your pelvis come up, whichever side where you're bringing the knee in. That can certainly come up. You don't have to try and keep that glute on the ground. Perfect. Now, whenever you're ready, we're almost done here. Bring your right knee in, squeeze it into your chest. Go ahead and slide that left heel out. You might rock that right knee from shoulder to heart space. Yeah. And then whenever you're ready, take your left arm out long. You might shift your hips slightly right, and then take your right knee over to the left side of your mat. You can take your right arm out long. And you might hold on to the outer edge of that thigh. Breathe here. Inhale back to center. Switch sides. Slide that right heel out. Left knee rocks from heart space to shoulder. And then when you're ready, take it over into a twist. Breathe. Inhale back to center. Bring both knees in. Give yourself a big hug. Rock side to side. And then when you're ready, take your legs out long. Lay your arms where they feel most comfortable. Stretch. Actually, let's bring our arms up overhead. Stretch. Big, big, big full body stretch. You might roll your ankles, your wrists. And then when you're ready, find your most comfortable position for your Shavasana. So hopefully you feel like you got some good work in those little muscles around your hips and glutes. And then got a good stretch after that. It's a good warm-up for a class. Hopefully you're able to relax into your mat. Closing your eyes. With every exhale, maybe sinking a little bit deeper into your mat, into the earth. Letting it support you after all your hard work. You deserve a minute to yourself. Letting go. Give yourself permission to do nothing if you have some time. It was an honor to have you join me in class today. I hope you walk away from this video feeling amazing. It's always an honor when you let me be your guide. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.